Yo, 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 man, it's your boy SasukeUzumaki slash Sharingan Stare slash Christian, call me one of those three. I'm back again to make another video. This time, it's about Mortal Kombat. Well, I made a lot of videos about Mortal Kombat, but this one is just going to focus on my thoughts of Mortal Kombat way back from 92 all the way up until now, 2011. Now, if you guys know me, I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. That's actually my favorite fighting game franchise of all time. I got much love for Street Fighter, got much love for Tekken, but I didn't play those games as much because, I was just a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. I guess it was because of all the blood and the violence in it, compared to Street Fighter and Tekken, where it was a bit more. No, Street Fighter. It was more Street Fighter that looked more cartoony. It looked a bit more fictional. While Mortal Kombat, they kind of used digitized actors and program them into the game, and they're doing all the moves. Because it's real people, it's just fictional characters, but real people are still doing all the moves and emotions and all that. Let's start with Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna go in order and talk briefly about each game up until the new Mortal Kombat that's coming out in a couple months. Okay, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, 92, year I was born, man. That was awesome. Of course, I didn't play the game when it first came out. I just barely existed. But when I first played Mortal Kombat, it was just crazy because all I remember was playing as Scorpion or Sub-Zero, tossing spears and doing ice balls, and every now and then I would play with Johnny Cage and punch people on the balls. I don't even think I knew that many people's fatalities. I think I only knew Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and Raiden's maybe at the most. I didn't play the first game that often. It wasn't until the later titles like 2 and 3 that I really started getting into it. But I still enjoyed the game a lot. With the introduction of blood, I still can't believe that. Look how badass this is. Mortal Kombat was actually the game franchise that started the ESRB. What was that guy's name? No, I was going to say Jack Nicholson. But what is that dude's name? The dude that kind of formed the whole ESRB thing because of the violence. Like if you saw Kano rip somebody's heart out, the guy got butthurt, so he told people to create this organization for all the ratings on the games. So that means every game you've ever played up until now with a rating, doesn't matter if it's K, A, or E, or T, or M, or even AO for adults only. Those things are there. The ratings, they're there because of Mortal Kombat, because of how over the top the violence was back then. So people, were obviously shocked at what they were seeing. Burning people alive. Shocking people to death, ripping people's heads off with their spine attached, those kinds of things. So it kind of blew people's minds back then. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 came out in 93, the year after. Of course, it's a sequel to the first one, with Shang Tsung losing to Liu Kang in the tournament. Goro was in the first one. Then there was the introduction of Kintaro, and the first appearance of Shao Kahn, the big boss that he is. And then a lot of new characters showed up. The original 7, they did not all the original 7 came back. Because the original 7 was Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya, damn, that's 6. Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya. Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Kano, and Liu Kang. Did I say all 7 of them? I don't think there were any hidden characters, but in the first one, I don't think any hidden characters were in the first one. So I think it was only those 7. Then Mortal Kombat 2 expanded upon that, literally double the amount of fatalities, double. Each character had 2. Then it was the introduction of not fatalities, friendships, and friendships by a Sub-Zero doll, by a Scorpion doll. Then a lot of the characters that I like now, they appeared in Mortal Kombat 2. So if you play Mortal Kombat 2, then it's essentially identical to the first one. But this is when people started the whole custom combo game, especially with my lady, man, Kitana. Man, I love her. Man, everybody can remember, doing a. Oh man, I gotta sneeze. Sorry. What was I talking about? Sorry, man. Man, my nose hurts. I got a sore inside of it, and it hurts like hell. It hurts like hell. Double the characters. I'm trying to stay on track here. Double the characters. Kitana, she had like ridiculous combos, like crazy combos with the fan lift, then maybe a jump kick with a fan, or a jump kick into the fan lift with another jump kick into the square wave punch. That was sexy. And then Melina, same deal with her with that little roll up move that she had. I didn't play Mortal Kombat 2 that much. I still like with the first one. I love Mortal Kombat period. But the reason why I didn't play it as much was because the AI on there was hard, and I often thought it was a glitch or something. You know how like when you pick your character for arcade mode and then you go down the ladder, like Shao Kahn is at the very top standing with his fist up in the air and stuff, and then when you scroll down fast, I used to think that it would cause a glitch to where the AI would increasingly get hard, because now the AI, they start reading your moves and stuff. That's why I couldn't even beat that game. I think the highest I got to was Kintaro. I got to Kintaro, but I never got to Shao Kahn. But it was sweet. But still, that game was pretty cool. All the I think some of the newer fan favorites that we have now, they came from Mortal Kombat 2. You had Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, Reptile, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kitana, Melina, Baraka, Raiden, Jax. Then the hidden characters were Smoke and Jade. I think you had to win 50 versus matches. I can't remember. 50 versus matches, and in versus mode to fight Jade, and then you had to get a flawless victory. I can't remember how many flawless victories you needed to get Smoke to fight Smoke and stuff. I can't remember. I mean, it was just so long ago. I still have the game on Midway Arcade Treasures 2 for the Nintendo GameCube. So I play it every now and then, but I'm not really any good at it. Fan favorite like Baraka, he was in it. And all that. It was still an amazing game. 3. I'm probably gonna, I'm just gonna talk about my favorite port of 3, because I can't jump from 3, Ultimate, and then Trilogy. Nah, I think I'm just gonna talk about my favorite port, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. To me, that was the best port for the arcade version. Let me see, which one was better, the arcade version or the SNES version? Because I've played both, but I think just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna say the arcade version. This is when Mortal Kombat was in the glory age of fighting games, because I don't think it was really any game that could mess with Mortal Kombat back then. Now I'm not dissing Street Fighter or Retro Fighter or Dead or Alive or anything like that. Killer Instinct was even around back then, but it wasn't as popular as Mortal Kombat was. Killer Instinct was a cool game too. That was pretty cool. Felt the ridiculous ultras, supreme victory, and all that. But Nintendo and Rare, I think they only produced one game off of Killer Instinct. That was it. But it was still fun to play with. But it just couldn't fade Mortal Kombat. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 had crisp graphics. The graphics were really clean. A lot of new characters appeared, like Ermac, a classic Sub-Zero, which would be Noob Saibot today. Who else? Cyrax, Sector, Smoke, Shang Tsung was playable again. Oh yeah, that's all I forgot to mention. Shang Tsung, Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, see, because I'm saying off of this off the top of my head, so it's not like I can just play the game and see who's on there and stuff. But Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, to me, that was the best. It was the best 2D game to me, in my opinion, because they had the dial-up combo system, and I kind of got hooked on using that a lot. And the future games would still implement that, so I guess that's probably why from 3 onward, I kind of got better at Mortal Kombat. I won't say I'm pro, but I'll say I'm pretty damn good at the game. What else did they introduce in Mortal Kombat 3? They introduced brutalities. To me, that was cool. That was kind of sweet. Enter you do like this really long combo, and you make the guy or the girl explode, and like they have like 18 million bones all over the screen. I know that's clearly exaggerated for what a brutality was back then, but I still thought it was sweet. And then the friendships, the animalities, it was kind of poking fun at the fact that the ESRB had been created by that one guy, Jack Thompson, whatever. If that's his name, I don't know. Okay, that's enough about 3. 3 was the best to me, in my honest opinion. So it was cool. Okay, let's talk about Mortal Kombat 4, shall we? Mortal Kombat 4, 1997. Back in April 1997, I believe. I think. MK4 was the first, and I quote, 3D Mortal Kombat game. That's pretty much like a new age Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat used polygon graphics now to create the characters. Not as many fan favorites returned. I think it was kind of a mix. Like Quan Chi. I think out of all the new characters that came out in that game, Quan Chi had to be probably my favorite. Then Reiko, because his moves were cool. That weird kick thing he did, that spinning kick, where he would spin on the same leg. I was like, what the fuck? How the hell do you do that? Yeah, but I think Quan Chi, he was the cool character. Then they didn't have the boss. They didn't have the boss characters. Well, they only had one boss, and that was Goro. Unlike in Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, where they had Kintaro, Shao Kahn, and Motaro. Oh my God, Motaro, you cheap fuck. 4, it wasn't quite the same because 3D gameplay had been implemented, but you had to do a sidestep to move like into a different part of the screen, or do a combo to knock them onto the other side of the screen. Shinnok, since he couldn't morph into all the characters, they had like a brief second where he would copy all the other users' moves and stuff. Quan Chi, he was another copy character because he could copy the fatalities, but he still had his own moves. I like that stomp move that he does, where he just teleports off the screen, then he stomps on you for like 10 stomps on you or something like that. Yeah. He also has my favorite fatality from that game, the leg rip beatdown. Damn, I remember when I did that, I was, ooh, that was clean, man. That was clean. I like that. But Mortal Kombat 4, I didn't like as much as 3, but I still played it. It still had its moments to me, because you can still do combos. Do like an uppercut, then run on them while they're on the ground, do another combo, then do the max out damage thing. Okay, so I talked about the first 4 games. Overall, Mortal Kombat's doing great, but to me, its prime age was within the first 3 games. 4 was like 4. It did all right. It was a new stepping stone into a new age. 1997. Going into the 2000s. 3D. That's kind of a good way to start it. To start a new age of Mortal Kombat. Now, MK would go on for 5 years on a hiatus. 5-year hiatus, and problems were starting at Midway. You know, the company, people were getting fired and stuff left and right. I think Carlos Penenza. Wait, or is it Daniel Pencina? Carlos. It was either Carl. No, I think it was Daniel Pencina who got fired from Midway. I think he was doing another game, and I forgot why he got fired though. But anyway, 2002, into the 3D age. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which I have. Well, if you guys watch my videos, you guys know I have that. The 3D. When I first saw Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, it looked sweet. It looked very good. It looked very good. I liked the game a lot because it was a lot more bloodier. The graphics were a lot better than how it was in, you know, Mortal Kombat 4. You know, with the technology advancements and stuff. So they make all the polygons have you know, like more neck bones, you know, more hair, you know, like more muscular features and all that. Then they introduced a new fighting system where each character had 2 fighting styles and 1 weapon style. That was good. That was a good new feature for a Mortal Kombat game, since Mortal Kombat is pretty much based around martial arts anyway. So I thought it was kind of cool. Scorpion Sub-Zero. Like I said before, not as many classic characters returned. A couple of them did. Jack, Shang Tsung, the Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kitana, Sonya, Jax, Reptile, Raiden, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, you know, people like that. It was a couple of them. Then it was a mix of new characters like Bo Rai Cho, Kenshi, Draman, Blaze, Mocap. Mocap was probably the most useless character. I think they just threw him in there just for fun. But I don't think it was necessary to add him, because he really didn't have anything to do with the story at all. But I still like the game a lot. The presentation was still good. The fatalities were a lot more sick. Man, the spine rip, the skeleton rip that Sub-Zero did. Man, I fucking dropped the control. I dropped the controller when I saw him do that. I was like, what the fuck? He just takes it out, and then like after like a second, after he throws it down, that was epic, man. That was epic. Deadly Alliance was a really good game. And again, the dialogue combo system was implemented into the game. So the Conquest mode was also introduced. You know, they had special features. They had the crypt. The crypt took forever to unlock because there's 676 coffins. So they had one for every possible letter combination, like A to AZ, and then B, A to BB, all the way down to ZZ, etc. Then there are some coffins inside the crypt where you pay a lot of money for it, and then sometimes you just get nothing. Or, even worse, you pay a lot of coins to think you unlock something really cool, and then it just says 1 shiny coin. I was like, motherfuckers. Then they introduced alternate costumes. That was pretty cool. Like Sub-Zero, he had his classic attire. Scorpion, he had his skull on fire like Ghost Rider. And the chain with his outfit, he had the chains around him with the bandages and stuff. And his arms were bare and stuff. That was cool. Okay, so Deadly Alliance, still the awesome comeback from Mortal Kombat. Deception follows the events immediately after Deadly Alliance, as you guys probably can already tell. You know, from the opening intro, with Raiden being the last person yet again having to step in to prevent the Deadly Alliance from taking over Earthrealm and Outworld and all the realms and stuff. Raiden gets defeated, and we see Quan Chi and Shang Tsung have a brief fight over control of the amulet that was used to control the Dragon King's army after Shang Tsung revived it with the souls of dead warriors and stuff. Now, in Deadly Alliance, Li Mei was killed by the Deadly Alliance, and she had her soul transferred into one of the soldiers. I thought it was a wrap for her, for real. When I first played Deception and I saw her again, I was like, what? I'm like, didn't you die in the last game? Then the story was recontended with Boraicho and Lee May's biographies. That was another new feature they introduced. The crypt was smaller. Again, they have alternate costumes. A couple of new characters showed up, like Kira, Cobra, Shujinko, Kotaro, Dairu. Dairu was supposed to be in Deadly Alliance, but he didn't make it in time. They only had a sketch of him, but then in Deception, he made an appearance. So, Deception essentially is a newer version of Deadly Alliance. Each character now has 2 fatalities. They still use the three fighting system, the 2 hand-to-hand and 1 weapon, and now the introduction of harakiris or suicides were introduced. Those are pretty cool. The fatalities, they were more violent, in my opinion. They were more violent than they were in Deadly Alliance. Again, the combo system was dial combo. Conquest mode was expanded, but it still used the same polygon graphic system and everything. But it was still cool. Most of the characters got redesigns on their costumes. Classic characters, they came back because Deception was really about bringing back the more fan favorites from the previous Mortal Kombat games, like 1, 2, 3 and stuff. Same thing as Deadly Alliance. I still like the game a lot. Armageddon. Now, this is where Midway kinda. I know I'm a diehard fan, and I know I would play Mortal Kombat versus the fucking Care Bears. I know I'll play Mortal Kombat versus the Care Bears if I had to, but I'm just saying. Armageddon. After that, for Deadly Alliance and Deception, I give them 9 out of 10. Armageddon, I'm giving an 8 out of 10. Here's why. Probably the best feature about Armageddon, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, that came out in 2006, was the fact that every character, not every character, except for Chameleon in the Nintendo 64 version, the female version of Chameleon, pretty much every character in Mortal Kombat's history came back. Whether they were missing from 4 or Gold, they all came back. Here's the problem. Since the game has so many characters, a lot of the characters had to use fighting styles from the characters in Deception. So I'll use Scorpion for an example. Scorpion had the fighting styles of Hapkido and Muay Fa in Deception. In Armageddon, every character only has two fighting styles, a normal fighting style and a weapon style. So Scorpion had Hapkido and Muay Fa in Deception. Now in Armageddon, he has Hapkido and his Mugai Ryu sword fighting style. His Muay Fa fighting style was given to Kai, since it was mostly the characters from Mortal Kombat 4 and a couple from 3 and 4 were 2 that all came back. It was the first time they were in a 3D game, but with having so many characters, there wasn't really much of a difference between what we had already seen in Deadly Alliance and Deception. Again, it's the same polygon graphics, same concept and fighting style. Once again, Conquest mode is an adventure mode. Now that I don't have a problem with. It's Taven and Dagon. They're on a quest to save the realms from Armageddon. Mainly Taven's doing that. It had its moments. You can unlock stuff. You can unlock costumes, and get currency from opening the chests and getting the Elder God armor from the golden chests and stuff. I still like the story mode because it was pretty decent. Here's the crypt. Not too different from Deception and Deadly Alliance, except there are no letter crypts. There are no letters on the crypts. There's just symbols of stuff with question marks, and you can just buy it with coins, or you can enter a cheat to where you get everything unlocked anyway. Like the relics, the conquest relics, like Jade's bracelet or Sindel's brush, things like that. An item that is associated with the character. For every 10 you got, you unlock something. I think when you get all 60, you unlock everything in the game. That was sweet. So that was cool. Now, the worst part about the bad things about Armageddon. Actually, I should mention the cons about the Deadly Alliance of Deception. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, Armageddon had created this creative fatality system. Now, it's supposed to be more interactive with the player, which it is in a way, because you had like a heart rip, you had like a thigh bone rip move or something. You get to rip out their rib cage and stuff, get to rip out their brain. But the thing was, you can even use your weapons with some of the characters like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Li Mei. No, not Li Mei. Melina, Kano, etc. But since every character pretty much had that, even including the bosses like Onaga, Blaze, Motaro, Shao Kahn, Kintaro, whatever, they all had identical moves. It was really, really, really hard to be creative with the creative fatality system. I mean, you had different transitions, and then you had different moves for those transitions, and different fatality inputs for those transitions. Like a torso rip is from the default position by pressing forward, back, circle, and then another one might be like where you knock them down to the floor, and you press down, down, circle to rip off their skull, their head with the spinal cord attached. Things like that. That was kind of one of the lamer things, because I thought it would have been at least kind of cool if they could have at least thought of concepts for fatalities for each character individually. Hell, I bet you most people wouldn't have minded at the time if they had recycled the fatalities like from the older games. I think that was going to be sweet. But they didn't. They decided to go with the creative fatality system. So, and then you were timed for each move. As you kept inputting moves, the timer kept going faster and faster and faster. Sometimes you could fail a fatality and it wouldn't count, so you have to input as many moves as you can. I think the limit is 11. Some people could do 12, but I've never seen anybody do a 12 combo fatality before. Okay, cons about Mortal Kombat 4. Oh, I should have talked about the cons of the game. From 1 to 3, I never really had any problems. I never really had anything to say, except for Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 3, like, again, there's a bit less customization because of the dial combo system. 4, same thing. You could combo your special moves into them, but it really depended on what you were doing, if you knew how to play with the character. The graphics, they were decent for a 1997 game. I'll say that. Cons with Deadly Alliance. Again, limited customization for combos. I know pro players like Check 4900 and Dead and Conquer and even Tyler Lantern, I bet you, they came up with combos that I never even thought of in the game. Because it was really hard for me to even think of any custom combos that you could do with the characters. Deception, probably the same thing. Dial combo system. They introduced breakers to break off combos and all that. But to me, I wanted more of a game where you could do both to where you could like be customizing and juggling and doing all that, and still have the classic feel to it, even though it's a 3D game and stuff. Armageddon, I just explained the creative fatality system, still a dialogue combo. The graphics are still the same, no graphic improvement whatsoever. Now we come to this generation's game, and there are only two so far. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Man, I think most of the people who complained about this game weren't truly Mortal Kombat fans, because if they would have thought about it, they would have said, okay, I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance, to play the game, even though it has DC Universe in it. Now, the reason why we could not, rip Batman or Sub-Zero's head, or stab a Catwoman in the face with Kitana's fans, is because Warner Brothers, they own DC Universe. So, and Midway bought out Warner Brothers bought out Midway by the time DC had came out. So they had to do it their way for a T-rated game. And Ed Boon had thought of an idea to do a crossover with another genre. Crossovers are never really a bad idea, but I was gonna say, if you're gonna do a crossover, do it with something that fans could relate to, or something that fans could tolerate. Now, if I had it my way, I would have done it between Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. I mean, who would not want to see Ryu fight Scorpion, or Ken fighting Sub-Zero, or Chun-Li fighting Kitana? Now that would have been that I would have bought, like, no problem, because I love both franchises. Even though I'm not a good Street Fighter, I'll still play with them or whatever. Okay, here's some of the positive things about Mortal Kombat vs. DC. Everybody on the Mortal Kombat side had a classic character. There were no new characters. They were all classic opponents. So 13? 13? I believe 13? Yeah, 13 characters were classic, and then 13 on the other side, all the DC Universe villains and superheroes and dark side. Fatalities. Fatalities in this game were toned down, like I said, because Midway was bought out by Warner Brothers, so they had to do it their way. I guarantee you, Ed Boon would have been like, you know what, fuck it, let's stab Superman in the fucking throat with a sword and let him choke on it to death or something, and then rip out his stomach or something, or rip out his intestines and choke him with it until he passes away or something, But the fatalities, they were toned down. Some of them look like how they did in Mortal Kombat 1. Scorpion, he was a good example because he had his Hellfire fatality. Breathe fire. You fall down, you die, you're on fire and stuff. And then there were fatalities where you would expect, for people to die from blood and stuff, but there wasn't. Like Sub-Zero's freeze shatter fatality, where he picks up the guy, freezes him, and then he smashes him, but there's no blood. There's like no blood pool or anything. They just shatter. Now, of course, me being the Mortal Kombat fan I said, no, a little red flag is going up, because I was like everybody else, bitching and whining. But I said, you know what, but in the end, I am a true Mortal Kombat fan, so I'll play it, and I have the game. Combo challenges, they were hard as hell, but somehow I got everything. I have 100% completion on the combo challenges, and I started to upload them. I don't know how many I'm gonna upload now. I guess I just gotta practice at it. The story mode was good, even though this was a crossover with probably a disapproving franchise. The story was still good. I still liked it. What else? The combo system in DC Universe is a lot similar to what we're gonna see in Mortal Kombat 9, to where you actually comboed your special moves together. Now, I'm not sure if the new Mortal Kombat is gonna have pro moves or not, but I'll get to that in a second. That to me, that was a good feature. That was really when, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, they were talking about, oh, okay, let's kind of let's kind of switch up our fighting style a little bit, you know, because generically when you're fighting, you're fighting on a 2D plane. You could not press the directional buttons to move into a 3D state. You had to hold L2 and then press down or whatever, or move the analog stick. But if you were fighting with the control pad, you essentially got 2D gameplay. Now, the combo challenges, they were tough. They were tough. A couple of the fatalities were tough because sometimes you needed to use the analog stick to input them. I think Raiden was a good example of that, you know. But that game, maybe I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe 8 at best, 8 out of 10 at best. But it doesn't compare to what Mortal Kombat had brought previously with Deception and Deadly Alliance. You know, new stuff that we had never seen before. But in a way, we should be thankful that Mortal Kombat vs. DC did come out, because remember, Armageddon came out in 2006. So really, for Mortal Kombat to sit between 4 years, and considering that we have the PS3 and the Xbox 360 now, man, a lot of people would have been like, I think a lot of people who played Mortal Kombat, they would have been like, dude, that series died with Armageddon and stuff, you know. Oh, it's not worth playing anymore. They can't seem to make a good game without using the same crap over and over and call it a good game. I say, come on, that's a bit uncalled for. I mean, those guys, they bust their asses off just to even make sequels of the game, you know. And if you think about it, if DC did not exist, I'm not sure if Mortal Kombat would have even looked like this, the way it is, the way it's gonna be now. And you know, and Ed Boon said, he's like, you know, ever since, you know, we had a break with the DC universe, you know, we kind of got the, you know, thinking about, you know, how we're gonna present a new Mortal Kombat game, you know, what fans really want. Because like I said, you know, after the 3D games, you know, Deadly Alliance through Armageddon, people started to get dissatisfied because of the play style. I say, man, you gotta learn to adapt. You gotta practice. You gotta practice with that. You can't just keep whining and whining and whining with the same thing. If you don't like the way Mortal Kombat playstyle is, then play something that fits your style of gameplay. Play the classic games. You know, I think PS3 and 360, they have Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on downloadable content or something like that, or the pre-ordered editions of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, they had Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, you know, or even download an emulator to your computer, get ROMs for the games and play it your way. But DC 7.5 at best. Mortal Kombat 9. This is going to be the breakout game of the year, in my honest opinion, because it's beautiful. The presentation could not look any better than it does now. I mean, wow, like that Melina combo video that just came out recently, sexy, because, I mean, yeah, she does look sexy, but I'm talking about the gameplay itself. I mean, the juggles, they look more fluid than they did in DC. In DC, they look like, they just look like every time you try to hit something, you had to be very specific about the timing. But here, it seems that you can access it without having to worry about, like, oh my god, I need to do a pro move. Oh my god, I need to press it in like half a second. You know, like, oh my god, I need to press it in 0.3 seconds before I can do the pro move and continue the combo. You know, you don't really have, to me, you don't even have to worry about that now. Because now, there are going to be dial combos, more than likely, from what I've seen in the trailers. I think there are going to be dial combos, but the gameplay is not probably going to focus on that as much. It's probably going to focus on Mortal Kombat 3, you know, Ultimate, where you had juggle combos maybe, or maybe even 2, where you just had custom combos completely. So it's completely up to you of how you play with the characters. So for me, the people I'm probably going to end up trying first are probably the obvious ones: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Melina, Kitana, and Jade, because those 5 right there, they're my favorites. You know, even though they're pretty much palette swaps of each other, now each character is going to have their own style. Like Ed Boon said, you know, when you pick Scorpion, he's not going to play the same as Sub-Zero. When you pick Sub-Zero, he's not going to play the same way as Nightwolf. When you pick Nightwolf, he's not going to play the same way as Sector. You know, things like that. And when I was watching the trailer, man, I got so happy, man, because this is what I was looking for. 2D presentation was fine with me because my favorite games are in 2D. 3D games I never had a problem with. I never had an issue with because I got used to playing. To me, if you adapt to a video game and you know how to play it any way they present it to you, then that's fine. But I'm an MK fan for life, so I'm gonna throw down regardless. 2D games I probably wasn't as good at with 3D games, but that's fine because I can always learn and practice and keep practicing and keep getting better and better until I manage to nail that thing. But now with Mortal Kombat 9, it looks like I'm even gonna have an easier time because now with the practice I've had from DC's fighting system, now it's like, oh, okay, now all you gotta do is just see how these guys play, see how these guys play and see how they work. And I'm gonna be posting online matches now and stuff for DC Universe and Mortal Kombat 9 and character playthroughs for that too. So, with that being said, Mortal Kombat 9 is going to be like the 3D version of the glorious era that Mortal Kombat had in the mid to late 90s. That's how good this game is going to be. I can tell. To me, that's going to be fighting game of the year. Like for me, that's going to be fighting game of the year. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, man. I'm sorry. I really hate to bring this up, man, but I got much love for Marvel vs. Capcom, but I'm an MK fan for life. So, with that being said, Mortal Kombat 9 is gonna be legit. I mean, the violence is crazy. Like those X-ray moves, man, dude. You get it's similar to that close-up system in DC, but instead of having to mash and press a button to input it to where an opponent can dodge, you can just save up a super meter to where you pull off an X-ray move. So can you imagine pulling off a sweet maybe 6 or 7 hit combo with 28% damage or 30 damage, and then comboing that into an X-ray move? Like the X-ray move alone does 30 damage alone. So if you combo that into an X-ray move, and then you just start breaking bones. You start seeing skulls get cracked. You start seeing organs getting ruptured and damaged, and like Sub-Zero, where he freezes the guy's stomach and he crushes it with his fist. Man, that was crazy. Then Scorpion has that skull cracker punch where he gives you a heavy right cross or left cross or whatever. Melina, she punches you hard in the kidney, and then she breaks your jaw with her knee and stuff. It's gonna look great. Then Reptile, I think he has the most vicious X-ray move because he takes the guy's head and he twists their neck. I was like, oh my god, because that was actually a throw move that he had in Mortal Kombat 4. Throw move, he would just snap the guy's neck, and then this one, super slow motion, you see the guy snap his neck. Now, I don't think people should be bitching about what they've seen so far, talking about, oh, they're still doing the juggling system like they did in DC. So what? Who cares? If you think about it, that's how all the old games have to play. If you played the original games, you know that you could not do dial-up combos. Like Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, there were no dial-up combos. It was completely up to you on how you do it. It's completely up to you on how you do it and stuff. Mortal Kombat 9, the fatalities, they look great. Like Kung Lao's fatality, he had the buzzsaw. He has that buzzsaw fatality. Oh man, that's sexy. From Shaolin monks, throws a hat on the ground, then he pulls his opponent from the legs, and their groin gets sliced. And, then their organs, and they're screaming. They're screaming, man, they're screaming like hell. Then Scorpion has that sword fatality, slices you up a little bit, kicks your chest out, and then slices your head in half. Damn, cuts off all your fucking limbs and shit. Kicks your chest, your body goes flying apart, cuts your head in half. Then Sub-Zero, he freezes you, rips your torso off with one hand. Man, there's so much I can just talk about this game, but I don't want to talk too much about this because there's still stuff that we have to see. I know Jade and Goro have been recently confirmed, and Ermac too. Oh yeah, Ermac, he was also a good character and stuff. Even in Mortal Kombat 3, you were still able to customize your combos, do a juggle combo into like for Ermac, you could like do a jump kick into a jump kick into a high punch to juggle, and then do the telekinetic slam into a green energy ball thing. That was cool. It's things like that. It's just up to you of how you play this game. So, any beginner, they could probably start off with the dialer combos. They might have like, maybe no more than five or maybe between 5 to 10 juggle dialer button combos or whatever. But I still think it's gonna be sweet for how it's gonna be. So I think it, it's gonna be a really awesome game. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch and see what people do. I can't wait to see what the pro MK players on YouTube can do in that game. That's gonna be sweet, and I can't wait to play online with those people. I'm hoping that they fix the lag issue in Mortal Kombat 9 to where the gameplay remains smooth. In DC it was laggy. It was horrible. Like sometimes you could like punch and it would still hit the opponent even though you're like 10 feet away. So it's kind of crazy. But hopefully MK9's online play will also be fluid as well as the normal gameplay. And then they have tag team mode where you can like bust out a combo, then you can either borrow a special move like how Melina did with Kitana and Cyrax. Like Melina started doing this combo, then Cyrax put that attachment bomb on the opponent, blew him up in the air, and then Melina continued to do her combo in the air with the air slide at the end to finish it. That was sexy. Damn. Then there's even combos where you could probably juggle them and then switch into your partner. Then have them bust out a combo to a special move, and then you can probably switch out and maybe try to finish it. Man, Mortal Kombat 9 is going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be a really great game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what people do. But I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on the whole Mortal Kombat franchise as a whole. Maybe you guys should leave your comments. Talk about how you guys became fans of the series and stuff. And why you guys like the game so much. I said I was going to end up doing a video like this, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Peace.